and the Catalan Dragons. They have Green Shields at full-back, then it's Bosch, Parla, Duport and Stacoul. Price is alongside Giraud. The forwards, Peyer, Fisher and Casti, who is the captain, Menzies, Anderson and Baccieri. And on the bench, Ian Henderson, Ragan, Simon and Fakir. And the coach is Trent Robinson. Now the London Broncos, and Michael Robertson's dropped in at full-back. Then they have an all-London three-quarter line of Dixon, Caro, O'Callaghan and Channing. There's another local product, the outstanding Dan Sargentson, alongside the skipper Craig Gower at half-back. Up front, it's Wielden, Witt, Kafusi, Melling, Rodney and Clubb. And on the bench, Randall, Bryant, Bolger, and yet another youngster from the London nursery, Will Lovell, for the coach, Rob Powell. So a glorious day yet again. The Dragons and the Broncos on their way out of the tunnel here at the Etihad Stadium. The temperature on pitch side must be nudging the upper 80s right now. What do they say about mad dogs and Englishmen going out in the midday sun? Well, it's a really warm start to the Magic Weekend Day 2, and up in the commentary box waiting for us, Barry McDermott, Terry O'Connor, Sean McRae, and first it's Graham Beecroft.
Thanks very much indeed, Eddie. Well, for the Dragons, potentially the chance to significantly improve their points difference. They are strong favourites to extend their winning Super League run to 6 in 7 matches. Just 2 wins this season for London. They're in a battle with Widnes at the bottom to avoid the wooden spoon. The referee there is James Child. We're nearly ready to get underway. The conditions exactly as they were yesterday. Very, very warm indeed. We've mentioned this London three-quarter line, all local, but very, very young and inexperienced as well.
Well, that's it, Graham. It's the inexperienced up against the side. The weather, you just look at the sun beating down, and the conditions only favour the Catalan side. My big worry for London are that the big men in the middle of the park, Clubb, Wielden, Kafusi, they don't last long minutes. Who's going to take the battle to Catalan, because they are a big physical outfit?
And straight away, Catalan have possession.
Just wait. Go.
Ball played quickly by Fisher. This near side, tackling is good and they're keeping a straight line so far. The London Broncos, Fisher again, Casti, the captain, looked a little bit high there, but Shane Rodney getting away with that one. Fisher again to Giroud. He'll kick, trying to push the London Broncos downfield. Just a little bit too much on it, and it's gone dead. So they'll restart from 20 metres.
Well, too strong. Michael Robertson letting that ball bounce off the island, and we're right to have slight question marks over the back line of the London club. But no less than 10 British players, and Rob Powell giving youth its chance, giving inexperience a crack on the big stage. Well, Antonio Kafusi, one of the senior players in the middle of the pitch for the Broncos, needs to stand up.
Yeah, Wielden is another one who needs to do that. He's just been tackled. Witt, all played out over towards that far side of the field. Pacing themselves will be important, I think, for both of these teams, although you would think that Catalan have got a significant advantage playing down there in the south of France in these very, very warm conditions. Not a cloud in the sky here in Manchester. Witt again, and this time it's the kick from the very experienced Craig Gower, who they'll be relying on enormously. The Broncos, chance here, is it going to be in, or is it a forward pass? I think the referee has said forward pass.
Well, that's a real shame, that.
Yeah, and for me, that's a significant difference in kicking. We saw Scott Giroud kick from about the halfway line before, and the ball just trickled and trickled. But look at Craig Gower, just gets clipped there, put the ball in the air, get a good chase, create some pressure. That's just unfortunate. It did go forward, but I think that's a much better tactic, ball in the air.
Yeah, and the wind going from left to right as we're looking at it. You could see yesterday how that ball held up, and it's exactly the same today. The conditions haven't altered one iota, and one significant factor from yesterday is the hardness of the pitch, and I wonder which side might adapt better to that. There's a mistake, and a bad one as well by the Dragons.
Well, it's uncharacteristic, really. Clint Greenshield is the man who's making the mistakes, but you could see from a couple of the runs, especially Lapini Pay, you've got to make sure you get your body in front of him. Big physical player who normally sets the roll going, and the Catalan players play off the back of him. you need to make sure that you get up in front of him, put pressure on him, and like that then force them into making mistakes.
So Catalan have formed the scrum. Gower puts the ball in, and it's to this near side of the field to O'Callaghan. They're relying so much on these youngsters. Ball forward, driven in by Rodney, who won the NRL Grand Final in Australia not once but twice. So there is experience as well as youth there. Now the ball through with Robertson. He's tackled, but it's been a reasonably encouraging start here for London. They've had plenty of possession in these very early stages of the game. Now, a chance here. They're in a good position, the Broncos here. Ball spun wide. Gower flicked on out. O'Callaghan just couldn't get it out to this near side of the field, but it is picked up, and they'll continue the attack here with Dixon.
Well, it's back to one, Graham. You think if they could have got this ball out to Dixon, it could have been a try.
And that's a foul, just pushing down too much there. The skipper, Remy Casti.
Well, Catalan, the opening 4 minutes, they've made a couple of mistakes. Now they give this penalty away. Remy Casti just holding on too long onto Dixon, and here's a quick tap. Big Kafusi
driving towards the line, around about 5 metres away. Now, what can they produce here, the Broncos? Witt flings the ball wide, trying to go through the gap, but well tackled. Witt again, trying to drive through once again, but once more good tackling by the Catalan defence, but they're really close to the line here, the Broncos. Can they produce something? Again, that gap closed. Sargison it was who was trying to go through 3 Catalan players. Once again, they try something different here. And very well taken indeed. In goal. Dive, which was needed, but that was a good set, that by the London Broncos, so they'll gain a little bit of confidence from that.
Yeah, a real slips catch there from Clint Greenshields, wasn't it? Referee James Charles took a little while to make up his decision. Graham, one of my concerns, or there's another error to the Catalan side, but if I can just finish on the point I just started, one of my major concerns about the London Broncos is the creativity inside the 20-metre zone, and there was nothing there in that set of 6 that's given me great enthusiasm for them. There were too many times when Gower took a hit, Sargent took the ball up, there was nothing coming off them. That's something the Broncos have got to get improved on very, very quickly if they're going to beat this Catalans team.
Matthias Parler with the mistake, which once again gives the Broncos the ball. Not a great pass, but it's picked up. Channing does well. Held up, but still making a little bit of progress.
Sean, I agree with you in a way there, but I'm not so bothered about Gower or Sargent and taking the line on, because then in the game, as long as they start to go at the line and then tip the ball onto somebody else, it probably might lull Catalan into a false sense of security.
I agree with you, Terry. It's the runners around them. There's not enough movement around them. That's the point I was making.
So once again, Gower now trying to set somebody through. Still well set though, the Catalan Dragons. Let's see if they can provide a little bit of something different here, the Broncos. Tony Clubb trying to force his way through. Final tackle coming up. Gower just tries to nudge one through. It ricochets. They might get something out of this, and they have. Well, it doesn't count, but it was a real bagatelle there.
Graham, if he could have picked that ball up then, Kafusi, he's in for the opening try.
Is he not offside, Tez?
No, that ricochets backwards. Is it off Steve Menzies? Here's the kick from Gower.
He plays the ball. Is he not offside at that point?
Yep.
Whether he fumbles it or not. They're definitely dominating possession.
Therefore, it should have been a penalty anyway, not a scrum.
But nonetheless, good start by the Broncos. Rob Powell will be very pleased indeed. 6 minutes in, still looking for the first points of the game here. The first match of this magic weekend.
Here's another
second
mistake.
Day.
Here's another mistake. 3 mistakes now, along with the penalty. The forward pass, there's the experienced Steve Menzies. Even brilliant players like him can make mistakes. Just overruns that from Ben Fisher. Well, they're having all the possession, all the position. London early on in this game, they need to try and get over the try line to build some confidence.
Nice and tight, come on.
So once again, a chance for the Broncos. They really must try and get something out of this, but knock on.
Well, there was a strip there, Graham. Chris Mellon takes this ball in off the scrum. He's trying to execute a scrum play. Scott Giroux tries to strip it one-on-one and knocks the ball on in the process.
London ball, lock in. Time off.
So not the start that we were expecting here, no question about it. London once again, Sargison whips it out wide. Little Channing can't get away, and he's dropped the ball. That was a mistake.
Well,
Fisher did well.
It's one of those knock-on-a-thons that you like to watch.
I didn't want to use it too early. We're only 8 minutes into the game.
Holy moly.
Well, move all the way, hold.
They haven't really been, well, they haven't been in the London half of the field yet, the Dragons. Can they do it here?
2, move on the 10. Hold.
Fisher again.
Third, move,
Tackling by the Broncos.
Shane, you're off. Shane.
Fisher once more.
Okay.
Good run. Casty wrapped up.
Release, 4, hold. Go.
This is Price.
5, move.
Good
on
work
the 10
once
and
again.
hold. Wait, Tony. Go.
Nice tackle coming up. The high bomb downfield. Giroux with the kick, but well taken.
Move.
Well, that's
Good take indeed.
That's a great take from Michael Robertson. Under pressure from his opposite, Clint Greenshield, who was behind the kicker, timed his run to perfection, and Robertson, as you say, 150 games for the Manly club, has come over. He's a big season, or he's a big signing for the London Broncos.
Stand, hold, 3, hold, go.
Good tackling once again. Now, the Dragons will very much want to keep the ball downfield, but the kick is early, and it forces them right the way back to their own goal line. Good kick.
What a great kick.
Chase isn't bad either.
What a great kick from Michael Witt. They need to make sure that they get Greenshields here. But he gets out from dummy half. Does he lose the ball there, Clint Greenshields? Well, the ref gives a penalty. The referee, James Child, gives a penalty. But when Clint Greenshields was going to ground, I feel he loses the ball just there.
Very difficult to see from the referee's position, though, in fairness to the official. So Giroux with the kick to touch.
Just wait. Wait.
Fisher to restart. Giroux.
Well, they're those little 50-50 calls that need to go with London this afternoon. They've started off very strongly, though. Man-on-man, Scott Wheeldon.
Bayatiri making a good run. Good grounds here. Now, this is a decent position for the Dragons. What can they produce here? Again, pushing closer to that Broncos try line. Fisher wide. Good ball inside. Is it try time? The referee right there, and he's given it. The ball forced down. It looked for all the world as though Paya was held up, but he managed to force his way through. He's a big, strong unit, Laponi Paya, and he got the ball down. And the first try of the game, coming against the run of play, perhaps, to the Catalan Dragons.
It is the first try of the game, but it's also the first venture into the Broncos half from the Catalan Dragons. Lapini Paya, who's a big, strong player. And let's have a look at this ball steal. Jamie O'Callaghan, was he unlucky? Did Clint Greenshields lose that? Nevertheless, the Catalan side through Scott Giroux. And unfortunately for the Broncos, the defence isn't up to scratch. Too many people probably anticipating where the ball was going to go. And the big man, wrong foot in the defence, scores the first try.
So here's Scott Giroux to try and add on the extra 2 points here for the Catalan Dragons. Ever present this season in League and Cup. And he does indeed. So the Catalan Dragons leading London Broncos by 6 points to 0.
Well, Scott Wheeldon was at fault and he got left behind to play the ball, and it just enables the likes of Ben Fisher to take it from the dummy half, go forward. You can see he's behind there, he's not set, so he's a late retreater. You can see him just jogging back into space now. He sets himself, Scott Giroux gets the ball, and big Lapini Payet just runs straight at him. Big, strong, crashes over for the try.
Well, exactly what Sean McRae was talking about, the little bit of extra initiative that they weren't showing the London Broncos coming from the Catalan Dragons there.
Well, that's what they've got, Graham. They're a very enterprising side of the Catalan Dragons, and they love to play from about 40 metres out. Their side can score from any field position, but particularly 40 metres out. They've got a lot of set plays. They rely a lot on Scott Giroux. Not quite as much on Leon Price, but Giroux tends to be the indicator, and he ran a wonderful line there when that try was scored. He started out, came back against the grain, and he had support playing. It was a well-worked try, but it's their first complete set really in the game.
As Giroux, he'll be involved in virtually everything good that the Catalan Dragons do. Super little player. There's Fisher. Giroux again, kicking deep. That's too hard. And so it goes dead in goal. So a restart then for London Broncos on the 20-metre line.
Well, just too much on that kick. Again, the London players still not set. Just getting back now behind the ball, and you can just look at Catalan. Well, there it is.
Just what you don't want
no,
at any time in a game, let's be honest about it, but especially when you've just conceded.
Well, effort on an effort now. Defending the line, just a simple mistake. They won't be happy with that. Good field position yet again for Catalan. Anderson with the offload.
Here's Fisher. Casti trying to drive towards the line, pumping those legs. Really good position again for the Dragons. Giroux flips it back. Price going through the gap. It's try time again for the Catalan Dragons. There was a gap there again, and he was too big and too powerful, Leon Price. And in the space of no time at all, the Dragons find themselves 10 points to 0 in front.
Well, it's Craig Goward who comes out the line, and he presents an opportunity to Leon Price. And he looks up, there's nowhere to go. But here's the simple mistake from Caro, not what he's after, the youngster. But just have a little look at Craig Goward. When Leon Price gets the ball in his hand, there's just too much of a gap. He's looking at Steve Menzies. Keep your line, go up, and leave Leon Price with nowhere to go. You can see that he tries to back off. You know that he's messed up there for his teammates, and that's just a simple try for Leon Price.
That's his 8th try in the last 7 matches, Leon Price. He's won everything in the domestic game and still got a great appetite for the game as well. 30 years of age now, Leon Price. So Giroux again from a virtually identical position from the last kick that he put over just a few moments ago.
Time on.
Giroux to add 2 points. Yes is the answer. So Catalan 12, London 0, and after a decent start by London, let's be honest about it, they had some good field position straight away. Their inability to score has cost them dear.
Well, the key there, of course, is that Scott Giroux, another long ball to Leon Price. Leon Price is one of the most dangerous runners in the game. He got on the outside shoulder of Shane Rodney and just had too much pace and too much strength, and that was a gift, really, for the Catalan Dragons. You just can't turn ball over in that field position.
So Witt restarts, straight to Menzies.
One, move, wait, go.
Dupont. Ball flicked infield, and Stackle taking it. Fisher this time. Giroux. Price, the try scorer, giving the ball plenty of width here, trying to find a space over on that far side of the field. The Broncos right.
Putting the knee in.
And the referee spotting an offence.
There is a lot of width, but there's also a lot of depth, and by the time Anderson catches that ball, he's probably run 20 metres and got all that momentum, so Louis Anderson to tackle is a difficult prospect.
Giroux through the line. Battieri.
Move, here we are. Hold.
Fisher again, who is... Simon Batley didn't play and immediately picked up by Catalan. Well, that was a very good take indeed by Menzies. It really was. It wasn't Menzies, I beg your pardon. It was a very good take by Louis Anderson. They're keeping the ball alive well here. Dragons trying on their left side, now trying down the middle.
Down 3, hold.
Fisher again, just having a casual look round. What's on for him? Giroud. Menzies close to the line now. What can they work here? Interference.
See them go either way. Steve Menzies trying to play that ball as quick as he can. Craig Gower probably is in the tussle with him, but that's the last thing the Broncos needed. Craig Gower's trying to get up, he's trying to get square at marker. 50-50 those.
Yeah, it was a little bit harsh maybe. Here's Baitieri.
Move on the line. Hold. Hold. Come on, quicker than that.
Fisher once again, they're trying down the right-hand side. Giroud, little step, but the gap is closed on him.
Hold.
Well, he was taking the ball away from Kafusi, then testing him on the inside, seeing if he was honest.
Price. Decent little interchange.
Move on the line. Go.
Price. Step from Price, ball inside again. Excellent tackle though. Good work. Really good piece of play by Tony Clubb.
Back to one.
Ball is lost there, all a bit scruffy.
It's gone down, Catalan ball. Knock on Tony Clubb.
It is good defence from Tony Clubb, who then goes on to pat the ball out of the hands from the dummy half, Leon Price. But what Catalan are doing is they're coming back in the inside. They're looking at Kafusi, Wheeldon, Witt, trying to target the likes of Tony Clubb, give them too much defensive work to do.
But I'm not sure whether that's the play from Tony Clubb as well, just getting up. He's better tackling Leon Price than knocking the ball on, and a further 6 tackles on his line.
So real pressure now by Catalan Dragons.
Okay.
Giroud to put the ball in.
Guys, come on,
Referee not happy with something.
Nice and tight in.
Just wants the scrum to form properly here. Not difficult, really. Price. Still can't work the ball to this near side of the field. Good defensive play by the Broncos. And good work as well there.
Good work,
Kieran
Dixon.
Fisher now. Giroud just changing the pace of the game. Little layoff by Withers.
Release 3 on the line.
Anderson wrapped up.
Go.
Thierry inside. Player. Still the pressure on the Broncos. Giroud, little step, goes through. Has he got the strength to drive over the line? He has, but he'll be held up surely by the Broncos there. Well, just a little step from Giroud. Tried to get out, just didn't have the power to go through, or the ability just to duck under the tackles at that moment.
Well, that's the danger of Scott Giroud. A number of times he's standing wide of the ruck, taking the ball, going out, then bringing it back to a big man. On that occasion, he decided to go on his own, just held up over the line.
Here's Price with the kick to the far side, held up in the wind, really. Knocked back, but there might be something on here. For the Dragons, there is. Is this a touchdown? The referee wants to go to the video ref. It was Casti who's gone over the line. The Dragons think he's scored. What does the video ref say?
Well, first time watching this, Graham, I think that this is a try. Are they onside? Just looking at the top of the screen, is it Louis Anderson? There might be a question over. But when they go up here, I'm sure this ball goes back off Sargentson. He knocks the ball back. Then it's Clint Greenshields.
I think that player there.
Well, I think that comes off Sargentson. Does Clint Greenshields knock it forward?
I think he's offside 1, and I think 2, he knocks it forward. There.
That comes off Sargentson. That comes backwards. Right here, does he touch the ball there? No, it doesn't touch the ground. He pats it back. Remy Casti picks it up, and I think this could be a try.
Good pick up by Casti. Just watching the grounding of the ball now.
Well, he puts himself.
There's a problem with that.
Sorry, Graham. He puts himself in the frame, doesn't he? And he's big. He's powerful. Look at that. He gets rid of Sargentson. Does he crash over? Yes, he does.
Great leg drive and great desire from the big man, knowing that there's some doubt, there's some conjecture over this try. Doesn't wait for any whistle, doesn't wait for any decision. Picks it up, puts it down.
What's the decision going to be? It is a try. So called right up here in the commentary box. Remy Casti going over the line, the skipper for the Catalan Dragons.
Well, you're right, Sean. They are set play after set play. You only have to cast your mind back to that great St Helens try right at the start of the season when it was very instinctive. And when they're playing a little bit ad hoc and off the cuff, at times like this, their instinct is to score, put themselves in a position, in the frame to score tries. It's great to watch.
As Giroud with the kick should pick up the extra 2 points and does, so the forwards doing well for Catalan Dragons at the start of this game, and they're beginning to get into their rhythm, you think here. Catalan 18, London 0. So where do London go from here? Well, they've got to try to push the Dragons back at the other end of the field, perhaps use the kicking game a little bit more, because if you look at the Sun, that could cause problems, sure.
Yeah, it's possible the Sun could, but I think London will look at that try in particular and know they could have done better to defend it. They could have had more escorting around the kick chase, and I think that Dan Sargentson probably could have even got himself into a better position to perhaps even catch that ball. But it's the players around that just stand there and watch, and that's where they need to be a little bit more enthusiastic, and they need to make sure they're moving a lot better. The great thing for me about the Catalan Dragons at the moment is players off the ball. That's why they look so impressive, because there's so many runners creating so many options for the ball players.
Let's go down to the touchline, Brian Carney.
Well, Graham, it's absolutely all Catalan Dragons on the scoreboard, and it's all Catalan Dragons in body language. It's very, very warm down here. London Broncos just making their first substitution. Antonio Cafusi off, Mark Bryant on to try and give his side a lift. But the Catalan Dragons, they have all the momentum, and they've got one heck of a bench to bring on. Some very, very big players and a very, very quick halfback or hooker in Ian Henderson. So for the London Broncos, you've got a lot of work left to do, and especially when Trent Robinson starts making these interchanges and picks up the pace for the Catalan Dragons.
You can't do that either.
So penalty given as Dixon tried to go forward but dragged into touch.
Sorry, Graham, I have a problem with this penalty. Kieran Dixon can pick anywhere on the pitch where he wants to run. He runs into the defenders, they're physical with him, they drag him into touch, and that to me should be Catalan's head and feet. But the rule's there, and that's why it's a penalty, I presume. But it's just one of those things that really gets to you, because you've got to award good defence.
Bryant tackled. Flipped out by Sargentson.
Two, move, back up. Hold, Remy. Go.
Wheeled and tackled.
Come on, Jason. Go.
Witt out to Gower.
Four, move on the 10. Go.
Gower along the line once again to Wheeldon. Now the best position they've had for a little while here. Can they provide something different here? The London Broncos. Gower dabs it through, but straight into the arms of a Catalan player. Now Menzies out to this near side. They managed to recover, the Broncos, but they needed to try and keep hold of that ball very much longer than that.
Well, that's the difference between the two sides. We're watching London's end of set. We're hoping they can come up with something. It's a beautiful offload that releases 38-year-old Steve Menzies.
Ball flipped over onto that far side of the field. Stackle coming inside.
And then again, a good sign. Thomas Bosch had overrun the play, but his urgency to get back behind the play and offer himself to his teammate.
Good ball for the runner, but good defence there. It was Green Shields who got into the action. Price once more, he'll dab this through, but should be tied up, and they did well there, the Broncos.
But again, the difference between the two sides, look where Caro is playing that ball. Look how hard the Broncos have to work to get out of their own red zone. It's a wonderful kick from Leon Price and an even better chase.
Bryant tried to make ground for the Broncos to get them away from their own try line. Good run by Witt.
This is actually where London are pretty good, coming off their own line. They're pretty good. They roll the ball downfield, have a few players there, like Gower's just taken an option there now, and probably chancing their arm a little bit because of the scoreline. But it just shows you how you can make good metres if you've got players in motion and people take the right options. They're in a great position now to probably throw the ball in the air and challenge, although Gower, for some reason, wants to find touch. I'm not 100% sure why you do that when you're down 18-0 on the scoreboard, but I don't know whether he thinks his team needs a rest.
He's probably buying a bit of time, isn't he? Because they've been under pressure and kicking out on the last tackle and 10 metres now from Catalan's line. But the worry for me was when Craig Gower got that ball, before he looked to throw a long ball, there was nobody up in support with him. Sean, you talked about it earlier about being close to the line, but they need to be when they're bringing the ball away, pushing up in numbers and trying to get a two attackers v one defender, and they just don't have that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Terry. I reckon that's the difference between the two sides. It's that class-type player. It's not just the ball player, but it's the player like the Greenshields of this world that knows where to be, knows where to put himself, and he creates doubt in the opposition mind. It's making the defenders nervous. I'm not sure that London Broncos at the moment are making Catalan's defenders very nervous at all. I think they're picking them off pretty well.
23, Lapini Paya, and 10, Remy Casti. On in their places, number 20, Mikhail
Now
Simon,
Catalan pushing away to their 40-metre line. Fisher inside again, and 3 required.
Hold, Torre. Wait. Go.
And good work by the Broncos defence. Still the legs pumping away as Simon tries to drive forward. Kick on the last tackle coming up. It's a really high one from Price. Oh, just about taken. The wind made that very, very difficult indeed, but he did well there, Robertson, to take that. That's
the experience of Michael Robertson, isn't it? A towering kick from Leon Price. And he puts himself in the position to poach that ball. Good work from the fullback.
Just watch Jamal Fakir, number 22, just entered the fray. He is a very explosive player, looking to give some impact to the Catalan side, who perhaps have just flattened off a little bit in a forced pass.
Yeah, Gower it was. He was just looking for support, which was there for a moment, but as Shane Rodney arrived, he was spun round, and the ball went to ground, and so Catalan pick it up again.
Well, they look to be playing at the best, London, when it's just simple plays. Michael Witt getting out from dummy half on the back of Weald and on the back of Mark Bryan, and Gower just losing the ball in the tackle.
Just how tiring is this? When one team is on top, they've got possession of the ball, they're moving it around, and you're having to defend and defend and defend in these conditions.
Graham, you don't want to be defending, especially near your own line. It takes an awful lot out of you when you've got to tackle the size of these fellas. You've got to wrestle with him, you've got to get him on the ground, work even harder after your collision to turn him onto the back. You get the ball on your terms, you can offer yourself as a runner, or you can take a little breather.
Giroud trying to just get the numbers right out there, but pretty good defending by the Broncos. Dip forward, there might be too much on that. Oh, well taken in goal.
Michael Witt catching that ball, just a bit of light relief, and momentum is the word you probably would use, Graham.
Yeah.
The momentum is with the Catalan side. That's a terrific run.
Dixon it was.
Kieran Dixon.
The exuberance of youth. He is one of the players who does catch the eye, isn't he, for the London Broncos?
Well, those are the things that a momentum changes. It's not just one instance like that. You combine a couple of them, you finish off a couple of good sets in good territory. I know we'll probably keep repeating ourselves talking about field position, but it's vital for the Broncos that they spend as much time down this end of the pitch as possible, because Catalan are lethal when they're down the other end.
Club it was who made the yards then. Sargison. No overlap outside. The defence well lined up and square as well. Very well organised, Trent Robinson's side. So the last tackle coming up. Kick towards this near side of the field. What can Dixon do here? Has he touched that down? That might be a brilliant piece of play. Well, the referee is going to the video ref, but that might be a fantastic piece of ball juggling.
Brilliant, brilliant leap. Absolutely fantastic. We'll have a look at the onside, offside, just at the bottom of your screen. I think it looks like he's onside. What about this?
Hit him in the face, actually.
He hasn't got full control. Oh.
I think he gets it back here.
You know, that might be a knock-on.
Yeah, I think
he knocked that forward onto a Catalan player.
Yeah, what a shame.
It might be a knock-on, that.
Yeah, I think you're right, Sean. Hits him in the face.
And then hits his
a
hand,
Catalan
yes.
player. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, you can't deny the skill of it. There it hits him in the face. Then he lets go of it. Then it hits a Catalan player.
Well, it's the sort of incident where you really want him to have that, don't you? But it looks as though it may be ruled out. We'll see.
Well, just look at him there. There's only one winner here, and that's Dixon. And he was the player who started it off with his run from the tap on the 20. He knocks that ball forward, as the lads have talked about, onto the Catalan player.
My word, he does well, though.
Nothing wrong with that. Fantastic.
All right.
Penalty attack for obstruction. So there we are. Kieran Dixon just promoted to the senior squad. Only this season, by the way, denied a try, but it was a tremendous piece of skill in the end.
Well, he is an absolute outstanding talent, and it was his run, Kieran Dixon's, followed by Caro's run, who got him into this position. The quick play of the balls that they generated on the back of that made it easy for the big fellas to roll forward up the other end of the park and get the ball in the air and make it a bit of a contest. Unfortunately, it just didn't come off for him then.
Well, let's hope they can capitalise on this field position now. They've had a wonderful set of 6 that led up to that. They almost scored. They've really got to keep the pressure on here. You don't have to score off this set of 6, but they were looking, if they can't score, get another repeat set, and let's challenge the Catalans' defence.
Sargent tackled. This is Gower.
Move on the line. Hold. Hold.
Witt. Which way is he going to go? Bryant driving forward again. Held up, though, still trying to pump those legs towards the line.
Knock on.
Well, the ball knocked on there. It was being thrown in the air, but there was no spear tackle.
Well, 4 players committed to this tackle, and Mark Bryant gets up and he asked the referee, "You called hell, sir." So if you call hell, sir, surely that's not a knock-on.
That was my view.
James Child just having a conversation with the big prop forward.
Make sure only 10 on the goal line.
He's given his teammates a big impact when he's come on.
Nice and tight and
Some big runs up the middle of the park.
Blocking tight here, second rows.
There's big Antonio Kafusi back on to lead the charge.
He only had a short break, Kafusi, and they need his size and power to restrict again. Restrict how far there he is.
Move, back up.
Firing himself out of a cannon, the lad.
Go. Two, move, hold, wait, go.
Fisher again, coming onto the short side.
Third,
Menz is
move,
tackled.
on the line, hold, go.
Obstruction,
yeah.
Jamal Fakir in unfamiliar territory. A support runner at the side of him. Does he give that pass? He chose not to.
It was Bateri, I think, who was making the run through.
Well, big Jamal's not known for his ball skills, is he? His little twos plays.
Bolger tackle.
Leon, hold, go.
Witt, can they get something here before the interval?
2, move all the way, hold, go.
Flung long, oh, it went backwards from Gower, so the chance to go at it again. Shane Rodney.
Still 2. Third, move, hold bent, wait, go.
Dixon. Gower.
It's no bad thing, this, for the Broncos. Spend a bit of time in possession. Keep hold of the ball.
Gower again, couldn't keep hold of it.
Knock on.
Well, that's a pity, really, because especially because he's one of those players that they're looking to lead here, isn't he?
Well, he's flinging himself all around the pitch. He's probably played the ball more times in the opening 32 minutes than somebody like Lee Breers did all game yesterday. So he's definitely putting his body on the line, but he's trying to catch that and kick it at the same time.
Well, he's a Trojan, isn't he? The harder it gets on the pitch, the more he puts his hand up, and that's with the relatively inexperienced players that they've got. Scott Giroux gets attention for a bloody nose. The inexperienced players that they've got, the senior players need to put their hands up, and that's exactly what Craig Gower does.
I think, Terry, if Craig Gower's guilty of anything, he's guilty of over-trying a little bit, and you can't blame him for that. I totally agree with you. He's got a relatively inexperienced back line. He's an inspirational player. He's been around a long, long time. He's just trying to get this side going. There's nothing wrong with turning the ball over in that field position if you can be down there a lot. You know, you'd rather turn it over down there, than in your own 20-30 metre zone. But unfortunately, they're just not able to capitalise on that field position they've had. And they're now allowing Catalans to just roll down the field as they do so well. They make good metres and get themselves in position for an attacking kick.
Simon tackled.
Wait. Go.
Price, little drop of the shoulders, almost took him through the Broncos line.
Come on. Hold. Go.
Giroux, bloody nose not stopping him at all. No space down on this near side for the little kick through from Stackhall.
Surrender!
Virtually 80 metres they've gone, the Catalan Dragons. The inside support from Scott Giroux. The previous play when Leon Price steps off his right foot. We've seen that countless times in a Bradford or St Helens shirt. And you're right, man for man, the players on the Catalan side have a little bit more class, a little bit more awe about them, so the Broncos players will stand off them. This time, Jamal Fakir giving the Broncos a little bit of field position.
Deep kick downfield.
Oh, it's not gone.
Doesn't go out of play.
They didn't get the distance.
The chase is not a bad one, though.
Well, a couple of decisions going for the London side on that occasion, just not being able to find touch. And again, just turning the ball over cheaply to Catalan.
Wait. Go. Third. Move. Come on, Antonio. Hold. Go.
Well, it was probably only a 10-minute spell, wasn't it, that London really haven't matched up with Catalan.
Move. Hold.
Yeah, they started very well and then conceded those two quick tries, didn't they, which are the tries that separate the teams at the moment.
Move. Go.
18 points to 0. Casti getting the third, Price the second, and Payat the first. Is there something else on here?
This is where they're dangerous, the Dragons.
Price just content to look around, but the kick wasn't a very good one. There's little Dixon still prepared to shimmy, try his best to come up against the big lads and take them on.
He's a live wire, isn't it? Catches that ball behind the line, has 5 players in front of him.
Move back up and hold.
Kieran Dixon, his unpredictability. And Mari Caro can get involved and help the big fellas out. The big fellas are having to do a little bit more defending because, as we've said, Scott Giroux, Leon Price looking to just isolate.
Ball. Move. Hold this 10. Wait. Go.
Gower again did well there, just slipped the ball out, but they couldn't
Move.
move it on.
Hold. Wait. Wait, Jamal. Go.
Chad Randall on now to Gower slip.
Chad, give 10. Chad.
And the fullback taking that one.
Play on.
Clint Greenshields. Bit of space to run into.
Move back up.
Well, you're right, Graham. Chad Randall on now. And when they've had the success, it has been from going from dummy half, and I'm sure that Chad Randall will bring that to the Broncos side. A very, very good player out of dummy half, and that's exactly what they need. Someone to toughen them up in the middle of the park as well defensively.
Third. Move. Wait. Wait.
There's Randall.
4. Move. Come on.
Good progress this by the Broncos. Henderson it was who was tackled.
Held. 5.
Simon brought down. Good control by Giroux, knocks the ball through the middle now. Chance here, it's going to be try time. Price ducks his arm, and the second try of the afternoon for big Leon Price. Well, it was a clever piece of play, a really clever piece of play, just knocking the ball over the top into space. And when it came to collecting that loose ball, there was only one player who was going to win it. And the finish coming from Leon Price.
Well, just when you're watching Catalan, you think they've lost the way of it here. They're not going forward like they should be. Look at that. Menzies stays onside and Leon Price. And that's a good read. They knew exactly what Scott Giroux was going to do. Just a delicate little kick over the top. Menzies aware of where that ball was going, and Leon Price, as always, just going up the middle of the park in support. And this is when Catalan are at the best, when there's options inside and out, teammates supporting each other. Price over for a simple try.
Yeah, Menzies took that one really well, and he made it his. And the celebration from the fans who've come up from the south of France. So a second try for Leon Price, and this should be a bolted on 2 points for Giroux.
Time on.
3 out of 3 becomes 4 out of 4 for Scott Giroux.
Well, it's vital that the London Broncos get all the little bits and pieces right. Michael Witt has been rotated and Chad Randall has come on now. Just watch when he gets involved in this tackle. He doesn't finish it off, which means that the Catalan side can play that ball at the speed that they want to. That's the reason Scott Giroux has so much time to pick and choose where he puts it, and that's a fantastic finish from Leon Price.
Lovely control of the football there when Giroux just knocked it through. It sat up beautifully, really invitingly for Steve Menzies, and he wasn't going to allow anybody to take that ball away from him.
Well, Graham, if we talk about errors in the game, Amari Caro dropped a ball from a 20-metre restart. Michael Witt failed to find touch, and now London Broncos, from the restart of that play after Catalans had scored, have kicked the ball out on the full and have instantly given the Catalan Dragons field position here and an opportunity to score again.
And that opportunity, is it going to be taken? Was that pass forward?
Yeah.
It was.
Forward from Anderson, Graham. Well, he gets his arms free, and it was 3 attackers v 3 defenders. A little step off the right foot to get on the outside of his man, but there it is.
It's nice to see a referee make an instant decision. He was right on the spot, James
Yes,
Childs. Didn't need the assistance of his touch judge. Knew that Louis Anderson's pass was forward.
Now again, Broncos working from their own line. So Callahan. Tackling pretty solid. There'll be no gimmies from the Catalan Dragons. There goes the hooter. And there goes the whistle for half-time. So 24 points to 0 at half-time.